Hi, everybody, and welcome to Renewed Mind Revolution with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. It is always my honor and my pleasure to be able to come and share some tips and some tools with you that I know will help you and assist you in becoming a better you. Today is a new week. I feel great. I feel awesome because I am still here, and so are you. So you too should feel awesome because you made it. You made it through another week. You made it through a weekend. Listen, you're conquering. You're doing it. And I'm proud of you. I'm so excited to be able to come on today and share some information with you. It has been my honor. It has been my pleasure. And it's also been my privilege to help you. Because as you know, when I help you, I am helping myself. That's right. I'm helping myself. When I extend my hand out to you, I am encouraging myself as well. Listen, I want to remind you guys that you can check out this podcast now on Spotify, also on Pandora, and also on iHeartRadio. So if this has really been encouraging you, now you have other outlets in order for you to listen and also for you to share it with someone else that might need to hear this. We cover so many different topics, but they're all about help, self-improvement, and empowerment. So I know that this is helping you, and I know that you know someone that this may also help. So today we're going to just jump right in, and we're going to talk about what we can do to improve ourselves where we are right now. You know, this podcast is all about us putting a spotlight on whatever it is that is hindering us, that is holding us back, that is it might be trauma from childhood, it might be trauma from adulthood, it might be trauma from right now, it might be sickness, it might be some type of any type of affliction or burden. It might just be some bad habits. It might be some inherited behavior. I mean, we cover so much on this podcast because we really want to make sure that we are living the life that was designed for us to live. What kind of life is that? A life that is in constant motion, which means that you're always pushing and persevering to go to the next. So we want to make sure we're living a life that we're always moving, we're always progressing, we're always being progressive. That's the life that we want to live, a life that we are learning, a life that we are listening, learning, and growing. Listening, learning, and growing. We are not perfect. No one expects us to be perfect. God did not design for us to be perfect. If he did, then there would be no need for grace or mercy or his son. But he does equip us to be able to handle the many things that come into our lives. And oftentimes we miss the opportunity to conquer it because we are dealing with other issues that are distractions. So let's talk about that today. Let's talk about distractions. And let me start off by saying that everybody has their own distraction, okay? Your distractions are not my distractions. My distractions are not your distractions. But it doesn't matter what the difference is of my and your distractions. What's important is that these distractions that come into our lives keep us from moving to the next. And we want to make sure that we are looking at them and that we are putting a light on them. And then we're going to do what? We're going to be able to learn about it. And then we're going to be able to expose it. And then we're going to be able to heal from it. The whole point of us discussing these different topics is not just to hear it so that we can be informed and educated, but that we can become healed from it or help someone else that we know is suffering from some of the things that we're sharing here on this podcast. It's all about healing. It's all about healing. It's about growing and healing. And so let's talk about distractions. Let's take one that I'm very familiar with, okay? Being a mother. Okay. So as a parent, we know a lot of times we put aside the things that we need to do, things that we might want to do because we're distracted from the things that, we are now having to do for our children. Okay. And so we can, go to all of their games and support all of their events, and then we have to go to take them to the doctors, and we have to go up to the schools and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do in school, and we have to make sure that they're receiving all of their needs are being met, and make sure that we're giving them the time that they need and that they request. And over time, especially depending on how many children you have, you could be really consumed by a lot of that. And in the meantime, you have completely neglected your own personal agenda, personal responsibilities, and personal goals and dreams and all this. Now, don't get me wrong. As a parent, we always do have a responsibility to our children. But I'm talking about to the point where you have neglected your own. Sometimes we put it to the side, which is some things that I have done in my life, and I do not regret it. We put it to the side so that we can, tend to the needs and responsibilities of our family. But sometimes we don't just put it to the side. We actually dump it. Okay, we dump it because we can't find a balance. We cannot find the balance between taking care of our responsibilities, our own needs, our own goals, our own dreams, our own purposes, and then balancing that out with our family, with our children or our spouses or whatever else. So let's just use this example of the parent. And so this parent has all these goals and all these dreams and all these responsibilities and a purpose for their own self. But they become so overwhelmed and swamped with the other responsibilities and needs of their children and family that they have completely dropped their own. Now, the problem with this can be that the parent becomes very bitter. Come on, I've seen it. Become very bitter, become very angry, become very upset, begin to play the blame game, blame everybody else for something that they did not do. Listen, it's not our children's fault that we did not tend to our own goals, our own needs, our own responsibilities, and our own purposes. That's not their responsibility. They're not in charge of that. They're not in charge of us. Okay? It's our responsibility to find a balance where we are able to be there for our family, our children, and do the things that we are required and need to do to help bring up and raise healthy little women and little men, and make sure that they are going to be productive, healthy little people in the world. But on the same hand, we must also put in time that we are always looking to fulfill our own purpose, our own goals, and our own dreams. One of the stories that I can share with you about this is my own mother. My mother, when I was coming up, was a housewife. And I mean, she was excellent at it. She made our house feel like a home. I never wanted for anything. I never worried about anything. The food was well prepared in there. When I got home from school, my beds were made, when we were younger. She took care of everything. The house was spotless. And my dad worked, and he worked nights, and so in the daytime he would rest, and she would take care of the house. Then it came a time when my mother began to balance her life, her dreams, her goals. Okay, so my mom went back to school, and she studied to become a teacher. Now, my mom did not neglect us in this process. Now, we had to learn to step up and do certain little things, but we were the age that we could. We were not babies. Could. help out, with these little things that needed to be done. And it was okay because my mom had sacrificed so much and done so much prior to that, that we as a family, this is what family do. We come in and we do what? We support each other and we carry each other and we cover each other. So she went back to school and she went to night school and she was able to still do all of her other responsibilities and, take up her classes. And my mom became a teacher in the midst of me growing up. So she did not neglect her dreams. She did not neglect her purpose or her goals in order for her to raise her family and to give them the time and to give the time to her children. She was able to balance that. And it's not, necessarily something that is very easy to do or simple to do because it's a challenge. But we know that in order for us to grow, we must face our challenges. We cannot hide from things that are challenging to us. We all must find a time in our lives that something we might look at looks very difficult, looks very, challenging. We can't run from it. It's going to always be that time that you have to just stand up to it and persevere. So that was one of the examples that I've had in my life, watching a parent balance work, balance family, balance school, so even after she finished, she was able to go to work. And by that time we were much older, so she was teaching and her hours was great, for her. And we were able to go to school and, we didn't miss a beat, we were fine. But my point is she did not look at us and blame us for anything, because she did what she needed to do and what she desired to do, which was become a teacher. And so what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to, sit back at life and blame other people, family, friends, loved ones, children, whoever, for something that you're purposely not moving forward in. One of the things I always stress to people, and I'm going to stress this to you, is time. Time is something you cannot get back. I stress this to my children as well, explaining to them over and over again the importance of them not taking advantage of time. I mean, while you have the moment, while you have the opportunity, you need to go ahead and you need to do it. You need to stop making excuses. You need to stop, already defeating whatever you need to do before you even attempt to do it. You can't sit back forever making plans and never build. Come on, somebody. You cannot engineer in a whole building on paper and never execute the building of that building itself. Okay, because it's just at that point it's just what a dream, and a dream without a deadline means nothing. Okay, you have to have a deadline. You have to say, hey, by this time this is what I need to do. In 5 years this is where I need to be. This is a goal for yourself. This is a goal. So listen, you cannot sit here and just blame everybody for things not working out for you. At some point in our lives, we have to take responsibility for what goes on in our own lives. And so we cannot sit here and say, our children, our family, our friends, or whoever, is the reason why you haven't moved forward in the things that you wanted to do. Now that you hear this, now that you're listening to this, you have a responsibility to yourself to pick yourself up and move forward with your dream. This is something that I often have to tell myself. I encourage myself, just like David did. I encourage myself in the Lord. I remind myself that God called me to it. He equipped me for it. Therefore, I can handle it. And I'm telling you the same thing. God has equipped you for this. He's called you to this. You can handle this no matter how many obstacles, no matter how many pitfalls, no matter how many trials and bumps in the road. You can handle it. But the hardest part is getting up from where you are, making a decision that you're going to do it, and then moving forward in it. it can, depending on what you're going through right now in life, that can be the hardest thing for you to do, is to tell yourself, I'm going to do this, and then to actually follow it by action. Because what? Faith without works is dead, which means we can talk all that we want to talk. We can say all that we want to say, but it means absolutely nothing if we don't get up from where we are and move forward. So you can't just sit back forever and say, I'm going to do this. And then 10 years, and then 15 years, and then 20 years, and you still haven't done anything that you said that you wanted to do. I keep reminding you guys over and over again, you deserve this. You deserve to get up and give yourself a chance. You deserve to get up and pursue your goals, pursue your dreams, pursue your passions. And let me share with you something about passion. We can have a passion about something, but we don't have the wisdom and the direction. So if we don't have this knowledge, then it's like driving a car with blindfolds on. Okay, that's the analogy that I wanted to share with you today. You can have passion, but without wisdom, knowledge, and direction, you're like an individual driving a car with the blindfolds on. We have to get some form of structure. And that's why I share with you, giving yourself a deadline. Tell yourself, listen, in 3 years, 4 years, I need to have made this step, and then this step. And then in 6 months, I need to have this step done. And then just follow that. Keep giving yourself a deadline. No one has to give you a deadline. Give yourself a deadline. And if there is a specific deadline for something that you need to do, give yourself like 3 or 4 months earlier than that. Give yourself that so that you can push towards where you need to be. Push towards what you want to do. We cannot continue to sit around and say, I wish I would have. I'm at the age now where I realize how time has caught up. We used to hear all the time growing up, about, it goes fast. It goes fast. Time goes fast. You get older fast. Pay attention. And now I find myself sharing that same information with my children because it is so true. You look around and you no longer qualify for certain things because of your age. You can no longer apply to certain positions because of your age. You can no longer do certain jobs because of your age. Come on. We have to do it while we can. Come on. That's my thing now. My thing is I say, I'm going to do this as long as I can. As long as I can. As long as I'm able to do what I'm doing, I'm going to do. As long as I'm able, physically, mentally, emotionally, as long as I'm able, I'm going to keep doing it because it's important. It's important to me. It's important for me. And it's important for others who are waiting on me. So the same thing for you. There's somebody who is waiting for you to give them what you have. And you've just been holding on to it for 10 years. You got this plan, you got this dream, you got these goals, and they've been just sitting in your hand, sitting there in a drawer. Paperwork just been sitting there. Come on, for a business and ideas and products, all these amazing products that I've been seeing coming out lately. This is amazing to me. I'm just so happy to see so many individual people. We're not talking major corporations, but individual people come out with some amazing products, amazing business ideas. And I think it's outstanding when someone has planned, prepared, and execute. I love that. I get so excited seeing someone share on my social media outlets that I look at when they share information on a new business venture that they're starting. Oh my God. Or a new product that they're coming out with and all the amazing creative ideas that I see. I actually absolutely love it, and I'm inspired. I am so inspired when I see that, because that's what we're supposed to do. And don't be hard on yourself, because sometimes we're not really sure which avenue we should take. And so we make some mistakes along the way. But that's the growth process. That's the learning process. So that's okay if you make mistakes along the way. But the point is to get up. Get up from where you are and begin to start all over again, or start, period. Give yourself a chance to fulfill your goals. Give yourself a chance to fulfill your purpose. Give yourself a chance. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve it, and you need it. You need it. Some people are miserable in the places that they are right now because they have not gotten up to move forward on that idea. You know, I always try to encourage my children to please make sure that you follow your dreams, that you're going to invest into something that you are excited about, that you're passionate about, that you love. Because if you do something that you love, it's not a job. It's not a job anymore. It's your passion. You're living out your passion, and you can get paid for it, and that's amazing. So whatever your passion is, that's the direction of your purpose. We shared this before in a podcast, many podcasts actually, about understanding what your purpose is. And your purpose, you can normally find your purpose by following your passion. Hear me again. You can normally find your purpose by following your passion. Okay, so that's when a lot of people say, well, what is my purpose? I have no idea. What am I supposed to do for the rest of my life? And I'm stuck in this job, or, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but I don't like it here. So what do I do? How do I start? Where do I begin? Start with what you're passionate for. And please don't tell me I don't have a passion for anything. Please don't say that, because that is not true. Because I've sat with people who say, I don't have a passion for anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then the more I talk to them, I find out they do have a passion for something. There might be a passion for fashion. Okay? It might be a passion for drawing. It might be a passion for painting. And believe it or not, these are avenues in which you can be lucrative. It can be lucrative for you, depending on how far you're willing to go. Come on. We limit ourselves. We tell ourselves that's not possible before we even try. We tell ourselves that can't happen before we even go. Come on. We tell ourselves and kill our dreams before we even attempt to move forward into the dream. Making a step towards our dreams, towards our purpose. We kill it off. We do it immediately. That's not possible. It's just something that I like, but I don't think it's something that I can make a living from. Come on. There's so many people who worked 9-to-5 jobs, okay? But they had a passion about a certain product. They wanted to create this product. And how many stories have you heard of people who say eventually I had to come off that job because this product was selling so fast that I couldn't keep up with the desire for it, the need for it. It can happen. It can happen. So you cannot limit yourself. You cannot limit yourself. I'm not telling everybody to quit their 9-to-5. Absolutely not. I'm telling you that some people, 9-to-5 is actually their purpose. So I definitely wouldn't tell you to do that. Some people, that is their purpose. That is their goal. That is their dream. They're living their dream. So that is definitely not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that there are individuals who are miserable with where they are right now. And life is too short for that. Life is too short to be in anything where you're just miserable 24/7 all the time. We have to make a conscious decision to do better. And that's what this podcast is all about. Doing better, being better, getting better. You can do it. You can do it. So today has been a brief but very honest topic, sharing with you to no longer make excuses, no longer tell yourself that you can't not do something, to no longer talk yourself out of something. Come on, don't talk yourself out of it. Let's begin to talk yourself into it. Talk yourself into your future. Talk yourself into your destiny. Talk yourself into your purpose. Talk yourself into your dream and say, I can make it. I can take it. God created me to handle it, and I'm going to do that. God designed for me to handle it, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to walk in my purpose. I've given 5 to 10 years of doing nothing. I've given 5 to 10 years of making excuses. I've given 5 to 10 years of being stagnant and not moving and not being progressive and not persevering. But those days are over with. As of today, I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm not going to say that I can't handle it. I'm not going to say that it's too much. I'm not going to say that it's overwhelming. I'm not going to say that I don't even know where to start, because I'm going to do what I need to do to get to where I need to go. Come on, somebody. Tell yourself that today. I'm not going to make any more excuses. No more excuses. No more excuses. Because I'm about to experience a life of abundance. Abundance of health, abundance of wealth, abundance of joy, abundance of peace. I'm no longer going to settle where I am right now. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to be who I was designed to be. I'm about to walk into a newness of my own life. I'm about to blow my own mind, okay? I'm so excited. I'm about to shock me as I come out of this place of contentment, of this place of fear, of this place of feeling overwhelmed and feeling as if I cannot, and begin to say I can, because I can do all things through Christ who gives me the strength. So I'm so glad to be able to come and share with you guys today. It has been my honor and my pleasure, as always, to share with you some tips and tools that will assist you in becoming a better you. You have been listening to Renewed Mind Revolution podcast with your host, Michelle Cook Hall. Please be reminded, you guys, that we are on Pandora, we are on Spotify, and we are on now iHeartRadio. You can check out the books that I have been so blessed to publish on Amazon.com, on Barnes & Noble. The books that we normally talk about and share on this podcast are from Breaking Family Ties and from Faith versus Fear. We also have A Heart of a Worshiper that is available on Amazon.com. And we also have the newest book called The Crowd. And this book is very, very informational for individuals who want to look at church different and ministries different. So take a look at these books, and whenever you want to connect with me or any of these social media platforms, just go ahead and do it. Facebook, I am on Instagram, and I'm also on Twitter, and I will try my best to connect back with you. If you leave me any comments, I will respond. I look forward to hearing with you and connecting with you. God bless you guys, and have an outstanding day.